Hi friends, this is Bilal Haider and this is the ninth part of this video series, and in this video part we are actually going to learn about sync lists. Alright, so before I actually go ahead and write some code and show you what are those, how to write the code for them, I need to explain how they work or what they do. So just like sync vars, where you declare a variable and make it a sync variable by putting an attribute on top of it, you make it synchronizable over the net. So whenever you change its value on the server, its value is updated on clients. Alright, so it's synchronized over the net. So just like those sync vars, we have these sync lists where just like arrays, where we have multiple things in one variable, and just like those we have these sync lists where we can put more than one values. We can have these lists. The collection of these things are called lists, and these lists can be synchronized over the net also. So Unity provides us some basic sync lists which we can create on in our games, and whenever we update them on server, those lists are updated and they are synchronized to all of the clients. Alright, so let's actually go ahead and show you how we use them. So here I have created a very simple list of strings. Alright, so how we declare them, we write sync list string. So this is a data type which Unity provides us. So we can also see there are sync list bool, sync list float, sync list int. We also have sync list struct and others also. So so what I have done here in this particular example, I have created this sync list, and well, whenever you write a sync list, you have to declare it like this. Alright, so you also have to initialize it like this. And the next thing which I have done here is that I went to my command function, and I put this my obj game object.text, and I put this string value so that when it completes displaying our cards, it should display this list message for us, and after that it should display all the elements of that list. Alright, so my list of I, and after that it should print the sync var variable along with those slashes or these minus signs. Alright, so the same thing I did in this RPC call to show how these sync lists work for you. Alright, so sync lists pretty much work the same way as the sync var does. So if we change its values, or we add values in here on our server, although we are not adding any values on the client side, so the client must not have any values, but because these are sync lists, so if we add or remove values or change those values on the server side, the lists are updated and synchronized to its client. So let's go ahead actually and add some values in it. So let me add, let's say, Queen of Spades and Queen of Hearts. Alright, so I declared this list up there, you saw it, and now I'm adding these two values in the list on the server side. Alright, so it should add these values, and then it should call this coroutine, and it should actually go ahead and display us these cards, alright, on all the clients. So let's actually go ahead and build and run this and see if it works or not. Alright, so let's play it here also, and let's join the game, play and host, join it here. Now this is a client and this is a server. Alright, so as you can see here, these commands were sent from the clients to this server. Alright, and their list is empty pretty much. Alright, so these clients didn't have any values in that list when they sent these commands to the server. Then after this is done, this server gets that code written on the server on this side was called, and it added in those lists these two items. Okay, so it displayed that list members here. It also should display these list members over to this client. So it proves that when you add items into the list on the server, they are updated, or they're synchronized towards all the clients as we have seen here. Alright, so let's actually go ahead and pause that, and what we will do, we will not add these values on the server side. Alright, save it, but we will add these values on the client side. Alright, and let's see what difference does it make. So let's build and run it. Let's play it. Let's play this one. Let's play and host, join the game. So this one is client. Alright, so as you can see here, this was the client. Alright, so we added these items on the client side. So what happened was that every client adds these list items on their side. Alright, so because this was a server also, so when this added these cards into the list, because it was adding on the server, it is because it's also a client. So when these items are added into the list on this side, it because it was a server, it's also added on the server. So basically it is now synchronizable. All right, so you see here that list has these elements in it, but this one, this second um, thing, this thing didn't have, didn't has, or didn't don't have actually. So it don't have these list items in it. Why it happened? Because when our client, this one, when this client sent that command to the server, because that was not on the server, so when it also added that items into the list, because but it added these into the list locally, and from this client to this one, it wasn't synchronized. All right, so that's why when it sent that command here, the list was empty. All right, so but the next time when this server sent the RPC call, because this list was because we added these items into the list here, so the list was updated and it was also synchronized. So now this time it prints these list items over to this client. I hope I'm making sense, although it's a little bit confusing, but if you get the core idea of how the lists are synchronized, and you should also keep this point in mind, that lists are always synchronized from server to the clients. All right, so if we add or remove items from them on the server, the list will be synchronized towards the clients. All right, but if you add items into the list on a client side, which is not a server, all right, so keep that point in mind. So when we add or remove items into a sync list on the client side, and on that client which is not a server, then that list items have no value. All right, because that list will not be updated. All right, so it's always updated or synchronized if you add or remove or update things on the server side. So this was pretty much all about this part. I hope you learned something. Please give it a try and run several tests on it so that you grab the concepts very clearly. So this was pretty much all. See you next time. Have fun, take care, and bye bye.